2020 is a year racked with one calamity after another, where several months of a global pandemic and with touchdown government response in multiple countries, including Nigeria. Poverty and unemployment is skyrocketing, and the alarming state of insecurity in the country continues unabated. Authoritarianism is threatening our fundamental human rights. The NSAS protest movement has had a new life in mainstream media after the brutal murder of a young man in Delta State, South Nigeria. A day after the viral video of the killing by SARS operatives, massive protests broke out in various cities across Nigeria. With us on Sahara TV today is a writer and a publisher, the convener of Unemployed People of Nigeria. He's also an educational psychologist, Dr. Uzo Ngoladi. It's a pleasure having you on Sahara TV, sir.
Thanks for having me.
You are the author of the newly released book, NSAS, War Against Impunity, which chronicles events that engulfed Nigeria and gained global attention and prominence in 2020. What inspired you to write this book?
Thank you very much. I was part of the protests. I protested about 3 times in Abuja. Then I traveled to Lagos for something else, and I was also caught up in the protests. So I participated in both Abuja and Lagos. So I witnessed everything that happened. So I just felt that we should not let it just go like that. Because when I went online during my research, I saw a lot of information. I saw a lot of data, So I decided to piece them together and put them in a book form so that history will be documented, so that posterity can look at it and learn the lessons of history and make improvements where it should occur. So I was greatly inspired by young people, how they decided to come to the streets to voice out their grievances, to express themselves, to express their displeasure at not only police brutality and police extorting them, but also the impunity in the country. Hashtag NSAS was a kind of platform for the citizens, especially the young people, to vent, to express themselves, to express their freedom of protest. And that is exactly why I decided to put it together so that everybody can see what happened. And during the course of my research, I also find out there's a whole lot of things I didn't know about NSAS. So I had to trace how did it start? Who started the hashtag? What was the government's reaction when it started? I realized that the government didn't do anything. They turned a blind eye. They didn't want to address the issues. The police authorities were enjoying themselves at the detriment of Nigerians. So at the end of the day, hashtag NSAS is a movement that should be sustained. It gained global attention. And we had solidarity protests in countries such as America, United States of America, UK. We saw Germany, South Africa, Canada. I was surprised that even the United Arab Emirates, Italy, Paris, Nigerians in diaspora also came out because they are also affected. So it's a very hashtag NSAS is a big brand that I urge Nigerian youth to use that platform. They can create a political party out of it and fight for themselves, because the hashtag NSAS has more spread globally and within Nigeria, all the 36 states of the Federation, more than APC and PDP put together. And this, in the last 20 years of democracy in Nigeria, this is the 2 political parties that has put Nigeria in its current situation.
Thank you very much. One can imagine those events during that period appearing in history books in years to come. It's been not controversial. No matter one's opinion about how to interpret those events that happened in October, how historically important is the NSAS protest?
Hashtag NSAS protest is very historic. It has never happened in Nigeria before. In fact, the Aba Women's Riot did not gain national attention like hashtag NSAS protests. The Aba Women's Riot is the only protest that can come close to what we experienced during that period. For over 2 weeks, the whole country was shut down. And even after the Lekki toll gate shooting, which the government and the military authorities are still denying, the consequences of that toll gate shooting was fatal. You can see how properties, both public and private, were vandalized by angry youths. I don't want to call them hoodlums or thugs because they are Nigerians. They are Nigerians who are aggrieved. You saw how banks were vandalized and burnt down, government offices, palaces, police stations, over 35 police stations were burnt down. And we have not had that kind of protest in Africa before. In fact, in the whole world, I've not seen it was more or less like a war. So it's very historic and it's very important that we document it for posterity. And I want to let you know that #EndSARS protest has not ended. It's still evolving. So what I did with this book is just the volume 1. By the time the judicial panels of inquiries set up by different states come up with their findings and the other issues that are coming up, we will also write another volume so that people can learn from it.
Now, let's reflect on the start of the EndSARS protest and the movement as a whole, and explain why the brutal killing of that young man in Southern Delta State, allegedly by SARS operative on October 3rd, became a tipping point for the call to end police brutality and impunity. Why?
Yes, it's because the people have had it up to here since 2016. #EndSARS started 2016 by Segun Awosanya. From my research, I spoke with him. He has been getting reports of police brutality, police extortion, police classifying every successful young man they see as a fraudster, as a yahoo, like they call it. If you are riding a very good car and you have a very good dressing, you are fashionable, you are immediately classified as a yahoo boy. #EndSARS, the call for police brutality it affected young men, the males, more. If you look at the statistics of people who lost their lives since 2016 due to police brutality, you will find out that they are men, they are young boys, especially the young boys. So I think that the events that happened in Delta State, in Ughelli, is just the people have had it up to here. There's nothing they can do again. So it was just a kind of, it was the last straw that broke the camel's back. So the bomb just went off, and it was very spontaneous. It wasn't planned. It was spontaneous. It cut across the entire 36 states of the Federation and even outside the country.
Now, let me take you up on that. Let me quickly take you up on that. I mean, considering we really like you to explain to us what are some of the significant factors why the protest spread across the country when it did.
Thank you very much for that question. #EndSARS protests brought about a very significant condition that this country, the government of Muhammadu Buhari, and the past governments have really ignored. And that is the problem of unemployment. And that is my sector. That is the cause I've been fighting for. I've been shouting on top of my voice because of unemployment. The rate of unemployment in Nigeria among young people who should be productive is very alarming. It is very, very annoying. It's very painful. I can assure you, I can confirm to you that more than 100 million young people wake up this morning, they woke up this morning and they do not have where to go. You see? So the protest is an opportunity for them to come out on the streets. And the government is not doing anything about unemployment. For instance, the federal ministries and parastatals, agencies of government, the civil service generally, since 2015, they have engaged in employment buying. What I mean is that if you want to gain employment in the federal civil service or state service, civil service today, you have to pay 1 million naira, 2 million naira, 3 million naira, 4 million naira, depending on the ministry. And that is very wrong. That is man's inhumanity to man. That is cruelty to mankind. That means if I don't have money and if I'm not rich, I will not be able to secure employment. I have had my own personal experiences as a PhD holder. I've applied to over 35 federal and state universities in this country, and it was still the same story. It's either they are asking me for 1 million naira, even in the University of Abuja here. It's either they are asking me for 1 million naira, or they're asking me for sex, or they're asking me for connection, or they're asking me which party. If you're not a member of APC, you will not secure employment in the federal civil service. That is one of the significant things that we have seen during this hashtag EndSARS. It has been there since 2015. Since this government came in, they started exploiting young people. They started frustrating us. They will not allow us to gain employment in the federal civil service or state civil service. We have been suffering. It's a country of pain. They don't want us to be part of the system. So the employment is monetized. The employment in the civil service is sexualized. The employment in the civil service is padidized. Padidized means that they do paddy. It's either you have connect with APC or you have one senator around. And I want to let you know that all the ministers, all the senators, the president, the vice president, all of them are aware of this employment buying. But I want to use this opportunity to tell them, especially the head of civil service, I want to tell them now to caution their public servants who are doing these things, because right now we are organized, we have mobilized. The unemployed people of Nigeria will come after them. Anybody, any public servant that is confirmed that is collecting money for employment will come for you. We'll mobilize the over 100 million unemployed youth in this country. Will come for you. There's no hiding place for you in 2021. Let this be the end. Let this be the end in this 2020. We are warning them. We will come for you. We will eat you raw. If we get you, we will eat you raw. We will mobilize. I've been shouting myself half since, telling them, stop selling employment. It is wrong. It is man's inhumanity to man. Our forebears did not do that. Our fathers and mothers did not sell employment. Did Buhari pay to join the army? Did Buhari buy the presidency? Why are you asking me to bring 2 million, 3 million, 4 million, or asking me for sex? If you go to the federal civil service, a lot of homosexuals, they want me to have sex before I will get employment. When I'm there to add value, I am not saying that we should be given employment on the platter of gold, but the employment should be free, fair, and there should be justice. It should be based on merit. There should be recruitment. There should be aptitude tests so that the best brains can join the federal civil service. So I am using this opportunity to warn. If you are that man, if you are that woman who is an agent in federal civil service that is going to collect money on your guy's behalf, we, the unemployed people of Nigeria, we are monitoring your phone lines. And if we confirm it, they are asking me to bring proof. Look at police. Police, they paid 700,000. They are in court now. Look at the civil defense. They were paying 800,000. Look at the GSS. GSS, almost all the people that were recruited in GSS this year, we are from Kano State, Bichi local government, the local government of the Oga at GSS. That is not right. They have frustrated us. They want us to carry arms. They want us to come out on the streets and start fighting, and we are going to do that if need be. But we are warning them, in 2021, do not sell employment. If there's any employment by CBN charges 3.5 million. Ministry of Finance, 3.5 million. Ministry of Information, Ministry of Niger Data Services, Ministry of Petroleum is the worst. The corruption there is smelling, is stinking. They don't want children of the poor to come close. Meanwhile, we have gone to school, we have our first degrees, we have our masters, we have our PhDs, and you are asking us, the unemployed people of Nigeria, to pay you 1 million naira, a frustrated, poverty young man and woman. You are asking us to bring money before we go employed. We will not tolerate that in 2021. And I want to also use this platform to inform you that we are mobilizing for Unemployed People of Nigeria Convention by January. We will gather together, come with our CVs and wave it and tell the whole world that the federal government of Nigeria under Muhammadu Buhari have messed up the system. They are collecting money from people. That is very disdainful. It's a wicked act. It's a wicked act. This crop of civil servants in Nigeria are wicked and heartless. They have no mercy. Look at the evil they are engaged in. So we don't want that in 2021 employment buying. If they try it, we will come for you and we will eat you, and you will see something that is worse than #EndSARS.
Now, let me quickly get your perspective on this. I mean, what has the EndSARS protest achieved so far, in spite of the lack of genuine structural change on the part of the government? And I also want you to share your view on the clampdown, government's clampdown on EndSARS activists and protesters so far.
You see, the government is just like a drowning man trying to hold somebody to drown with. They know that they have messed up. Years of misrule and misgovernance by both PDP and APC, But #EndSARS project created a lot of awareness. If you go through my book, you will see where I stated the international support. We gained international support. We gained international recognition, and most of the celebrities, influencers who are well known, such as Beyonce, Kanye West, Tyler Perry, name them, Rihanna, they all reacted to it. They added their voices, okay? And because of that, you are aware that SARS was disbanded. At least it was disbanded officially on paper before they started their SWAT, And I realized again that most of the policemen are very, very careful now. I was at the bus stop the other day. They wanted to hold one young man. They were calling him a Yahoo boy. I said, do you have any proof? They started calling me a Yahoo boy too, in Abuja here. And I started shouting #EndSARS. We were just close to the police headquarters. I said, let's go there. Let's go and confirm it. The two policemen just left us and went away. No, so they're being careful now. Even the soldiers, everybody's being careful. Before, soldiers will just see you and start flogging you and start rumpling you and start doing that. You don't do it again. If you try it again, you will lose your job. Because I think the government is tired of being branded in a negative light because of the activities of the police, of the entire armed forces. So there is awareness. Now, coming to the clampdown on EndSARS activists, it's very appalling that a government should be this petty, shutting down people's, freezing their accounts, bank accounts, trying to intimidation, government intimidation, but we have resisted it now. How far have they gone? They know that they cannot do that. They cannot do that. They cannot try it. And again, people are speaking out. Go and listen to observe the judicial panels of inquiries. People are coming. People whose relatives were killed by the police. People whose relatives were dismembered by the police. They are all coming there to open up. Finally, so people. I'm very happy that the Nigerian youth are bold now.
Doctor, still on the so-called, some Nigerians have actually alluded to the state's judicial panel of inquiries as a kangaroo panel. Do you see anything coming out considering the history of panels?
Yeah, we have to be hopeful. I am hopeful because you can tell me that it's only 5 states that did not set up judicial panel of inquiry. 5 states in the north. You can't tell me that all the other 31 states, right? All the other 31 states. You can't tell me that all of them will be kangaroo. No. Let's be very fair and let's give them benefit of the doubt. I know that by first quarter of next year, we'll see more revelations. We'll see recommendations. We'll see findings. And you can see that the police has been restructured. I give it to them. The police has been restructured. They are, at least from what I'm seeing on the streets, they are being very careful. No policeman can just see you now and start searching your phone. They don't go through people's phone again. And that is a big achievement for EndSARS. Before, they search your laptop, they search your phone, they search every gadget on you, they impound your car, and they ask you to bring 1 million naira, 500,000. That was what they were taking from people. But I can assure you that since the EndSARS protests, they don't try it again. And if they are even still doing it, it's very minimal now. So we're on course. We're on course. The struggle continues.
Now, finally, how has the EndSARS movement evolved? How is it evolving now? And do we have a new protest dynamic coming into play? And what is the future for the EndSARS protest?
Well, for me, the future for the EndSARS protests should no longer be on the streets. Okay? It should no longer, even if we want to come to the streets, let's come to the streets for something, something different, but still under that platform, such as this unemployment issue now, such as this employment selling that is going on. We can come to the streets and we can protest peacefully. We can also go online, continue the agitation online, because moving further, I know that the impunity is reducing. The government know that there's awareness now, that people know their rights. You can't see anybody now and intimidate the person. It's not possible. The international work, look at the United Kingdom Parliament. The United Kingdom Parliament, they want to sanction public office holders in Nigeria who messed up the systems and structures of this country. They want to place visa bans on them so that you can't go to any country now. You cannot go to any country to go and enjoy the developments they have established there. Stay back in your country and enjoy the mess, the cesspool that you have created here. So moving forward, EndSARS, the future is very bright. Then when you talk about politics, power is not given, power is taken. I urge Nigerian youth to leverage on this hashtag EndSARS brand. It has more spread than APC and PDP. It permeated all the the nooks and crannies of the country. So we can use that as a platform and vote for ourselves. I am 43 years old. I'll be 44 in March next year. I can't. What benefits have I gained from being a Nigerian? So we can take power. We can use that platform to take power. We can ensure that anybody who has been part of the rot in the last 20 years of democracy does not come back to power, both at state and federal level, at the legislature level. It's very simple. So we can leverage on this. So the future is very bright. And that is the reason why I decided to put out this book, in record time. I didn't want to waste time to say, let me wait for everything to be okay. No. Let's do this volume 1 first. When other issues come out, we do volume 2 and we prepare for 2023 and ensure that we'll come out and vote and be voted for. So that is most of the things that hashtag EndSARS protest has brought to bear for us to see.
Dr. Uzo Ngoladi, thank you so much for your spending the time with us and for your perspective on this issue.